Hello everyone, this is David Marclane. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. Starting with today's most important news, first we present to you a tragic incident from South Waziristan. Last week, there was a drone strike in North Waziristan, and now a drone strike has taken place near Wana in South Waziristan. According to the list we have received so far, 22 people have been injured in this attack. Some have sustained minor injuries, while others are seriously or critically injured. These 22 individuals are the ones who managed to reach the hospital and did not lose their lives in the attack. As for casualties, we currently do not have confirmed information on whether there were any deaths, and if there were, whether the deceased were brought to this hospital or elsewhere. This remains a developing story. But as per the documents we have received, the drone strike occurred in South Waziristan, injuring around 22 people, some minor and some critically. May Allah protect all those who have been injured and grant them health and safety. Now, the situation is such that exactly 7 days ago, there was a drone strike in North Waziristan in which 4 children were martyred. For the first 3 to 4 days, no one said anything. Then DGISPR stated that this drone strike was not carried out by us, but by Tehreek-i-Taliban Pakistan, TTP. This raised even more concerns. Firstly, if the TTP now possesses drones, that is extremely dangerous, because if they can conduct drone strikes, being a non-state actor, it is uncertain where and how they might strike next. Secondly, a troubling question arises. Why didn't we shoot down that drone before it killed the 4 children in Mir Ali? If we didn't intercept it, then why? That too must be explained. The third and perhaps most alarming concern is whether, like in the past when US drone strikes occurred and the public was misled, are we once again misleading our people? Are these really state-run drone strikes being blamed on TTP? I'm not accusing any state institution, but this matter should be presented transparently to the public. If it was TTP, we all know they are terrorists and we all condemn them. But then, why didn't we shoot down their drones? That is a critical question. The victims in Mir Ali and their families staged a sit-in protest for about 7 days, which, as of yesterday, was concluded after government assurances that such incidents would not happen again and that there would be an investigation. We had previously reported that the bodies of 2 children were kept in an air-conditioned car during the protest for 2 to 3 days. 2 of the children had been buried, and the protest was held with the other 2 children's bodies. Now, sadly, within the same week, we must report a similar story from South Waziristan. This is a very tragic development. We hope that all facts will be brought to the public with transparency, because Imran Khan is not out of jail. Had he been, he would have raised a strong voice. These strikes are occurring within the borders of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where over 2/3 of the population voted for Pakistan Tehreek-i-Insaf, PTI. If oppression is happening there, it must be accounted for. Now moving to the next news story. We go to Mashhad, Iran, where Mr. Mohsin Naqvi has visited the shrine of Hazrat Imam Reza. The reverence Muslims have for Imam Reza is well known. Even during the oppressive rule of the Abbasid caliphs, Imam Reza preached humanity, love and compassion. Historical sources suggest that he was poisoned during the reign of Caliph Mamun, which led to his martyrdom. Now Mr. Mohsin Naqvi has travelled all the way to Mashhad, seemingly to seek forgiveness for his sins. He, like Justice Qazi Aminuddin, hopes to receive blessings, mercy and forgiveness by visiting Imam Reza's shrine. But with all due apology, based on what I've studied about Imam Reza, his scholarly stature, his personality, his courage in standing up to tyrants, he would never stand with oppressors. He sacrificed his life but never submitted to political pressure. I'm surprised that Mr. Mohsin Naqvi, who now appears to be part of the same oppressive machinery as the Abbasid rulers, is trying to find solace at this holy site. Just like Justice Aminuddin is going for Hajj, Mr. Naqvi is visiting this sacred place, perhaps trying to ease his guilt. We often see such people during Umrah or Hajj. police officers involved in false charges, bureaucrats, army officers, politicians, many involved in corruption. I know businessmen who are frontmen for extremely dangerous figures, people who have invested in every kind of unlawful activity, and yet they are in Medina every week claiming they were invited by the Prophet. I doubt the Prophet or any saint would want such people near them. Maybe these people are summoned only to be warned, perhaps as a last chance to awaken their conscience. As for Mr. Naqvi, after all that he has done in Punjab, especially regarding the oppression of people like Zil Shah, I wonder how he sleeps at night. I believe Zil Shah with his pure heart would be closer to Imam Reza in the afterlife. Imam Reza would undoubtedly show more love to someone like him than to someone like Mohsin Naqvi. It's hard to say more. This is a religious matter, but such people feel no shame and will never feel it. They try to wash away their guilt by visiting sacred places, thinking that it will cleanse them of their wrongdoings. But if you read the medical reports and the death certificate related to Zil Shah and see the level of brutality inflicted on him by the police under Mohsin Naqvi and the generals of that time, you would shudder and seek God's refuge. So, I again advise both Justice Aminuddin and Mr. Mohsin Naqvi, instead of going yourselves, sponsor some poor person to visit these holy sites. Don't deceive yourselves. The teachings of Imam Reza are the complete opposite of your conduct. There's no connection between your actions and his values. Moving to the next story, this is about Emir al-Mahdi Mansour al-Gaddafi. As you know, names in the Middle East tend to be long. Mr. Emir's last name is al-Gaddafi, like Gaddafi. He was trying to go for Hajj from Libya and reached Sabah airport on May 25th, either late at night or early morning. His flight was at noon. Due to his surname, security clearance was denied, perhaps fearing he might be related to Muammar Gaddafi or due to other concerns. While his security was being checked through emails or other means, he was made to sit at the airport. The plane boarded and took off without him, but the flight soon faced a technical issue and had to return to the airport. By then, Emir's security clearance was complete. He was to be allowed on board, but the pilot, according to reports, refused to reopen the door. The flight took off again without him. Again, a technical fault forced the plane to return. This time they opened the door and allowed Emir to board. On the third attempt, the flight finally departed, with Emir on board, heading for Hajj. He recorded a video stating that it was God's will, and these technical problems happened so that he could go for Hajj. His story went viral. People said, "See, when someone is destined to go, nothing can stop them." But do not confuse Emir with someone like Mohsin Naqvi. Just because someone goes on Hajj doesn't mean they are pure. Even tyrants and corrupt rulers have performed Hajj and Umrah and then gone on to commit atrocities. These people, like Naqvi, might be called to these holy places not for blessings, but as a warning, a final chance. Maybe seeing the house of God will awaken their conscience. Maybe it won't. Let me be clear. Do not compare someone like Emir al-Gaddafi, simple, ordinary man, with someone like Mohsin Naqvi. If any Pakistanis are in Mashhad, please do not use foul language. Harsh criticism is fine. Stay within the law, maintain respect. But if you see such people at Imam Reza's shrine, remind them that their actions and ideologies do not belong there. All right, let's move to the next news story. This one is from the Lahore High Court. The bench that was hearing Imran Khan's cases included Justice Shahbaz Rizvi, Justice Rafiq Amjad, and Justice Sardar Tariq Salim. Justice Tariq Salim is a very competent judge at the Lahore High Court, known for giving excellent judgments, free from political influence or pressure. Justice Rafiq Amjad is similar in that regard. Now, with this latest development, it seems that Justice Shahbaz Rizvi might also be among the list of such independent judges. He was hearing Imran Khan's cases, but has now been transferred to the Multan bench so that he can no longer hear those cases. For those who don't know, the Lahore High Court, which is the High Court for Punjab, has several benches, one in Bahawalpur, one in Multan, and one in Rawalpindi. Each bench hears cases that fall under its respective territorial jurisdiction. For example, only cases from that region are heard in Bahawalpur bench, and so on. Central Punjab and most of Punjab are covered by the main Lahore bench. So, Justice Rizvi's transfer to the Multan bench means he will no longer be hearing Imran Khan's cases. The apparent purpose is to prevent these independent judges from adjudicating Imran Khan's matters, and instead assign them to judges who will deliver rulings favoured by Chaudhry Sahib. Next, let's go to another story. This is an analysis by Habib Akram, which I somewhat agree with. He mentioned that a former member of Imran Khan's government told him that Imran Khan did not allow any dishonesty while in power. Now, however, he faces multiple legal cases, and the legal fees and court expenses have turned his financial comfort into hardship. That's absolutely true. It reminds me of my own experience. When I had court cases, I had to travel from Lahore to Islamabad. Sometimes there were 2 hearings in 1 week, each costing hundreds of thousands of rupees. I'll share the full details some other time. If you travel in 2 or 3 vehicles in today's Pakistan, people can tell you how expensive petrol and other costs have become. Hiring a reputed lawyer adds more expenses, and if you need to stay overnight, that's more money again. So each hearing could cost hundreds of thousands. Once I had 2 hearings in a week. I jokingly told Judge Supra, "Please let me skip this week. Next time I appear, I promise I'll commit some corruption." Because I had not done anything wrong, I never imagined I'd face such cases and would have to spend millions like water on legal battles. This is why people in Pakistan often become disillusioned with politicians. You think some are amazing speakers, great orators, maybe like me. You hear someone like Gul Sahib and think, what a moral man, what pleasant ideas. But later, when you see their actions, you feel disappointed. And the reason for that is the system created by Chaudhry Sahib over the past 77 years. Take the current ruling party, the PMLN. For instance, Rana Sanola may be in power now, but they know that 4 or 5 years down the line, they will face the music too. Today, it's Field Marshal Asim Munir in charge. Tomorrow, someone else might hold them accountable, just like they've held others accountable. In these conditions, they might already be indulging in corruption, preparing for future legal cases. I'm not pointing at Rana Sanola specifically. I mean all of them. They're collecting wealth in anticipation of future cases. Now, when people from the middle class enter politics, they're not trained for this. Corruption is a kind of facility. Some people have it in them, some don't. Once, during a lighter moment with Imran Khan on a flight, I told him, "You're from Pakistan, and all politicians here engage in some form of corruption. But Allah didn't put that facility in you. If He had, you probably would have done it too. You are part of the same political system." He just smiled in response. That convinced me. Corruption depends on whether you have the internal inclination for it or not. Those who use very refined language are often more deeply involved with governments. Be cautious of overly eloquent people. Their dealings often run deep in the corridors of power. So, Habib Akram's analysis is correct. People who didn't engage in corruption are now facing financial ruin. My biggest concern is that if these people who were crushed get another chance, some of them, not all, might feel the urge to recover their losses, thus perpetuating the cycle of corruption. That's the vicious cycle we've been trapped in for 77 years, thanks to Chaudhry Nizamuddin's system. People know this is temporary. They will face cases again. They'll need millions to survive legal persecution or exile, and so they start preparing in advance by accumulating wealth through corruption. When martial laws, dictatorships and rule of law farces arrive, they cause severe damage. Even political parties end up filling their ranks with more corrupt individuals because such people tend to be more resilient. Their stakes are higher, so they stand firm even during difficult times. Again, I'm not saying this about everyone, but often those who made the biggest sacrifices during opposition years feel entitled once their party gains power. They say, "It's our turn now," and start consuming everything, like devouring a salted radish. This is what happens when political institutions are dismantled. It lays the groundwork for systemic corruption. This is Chaudhry Nizamuddin's crime. For 77 years, he has not let political or societal systems develop. Even when good people do enter politics, their chances of success are very slim. Moving forward, Allama Maulana Raghib Naimi has said that promoting General Asim Munir to Field Marshal is a recognition of his services. Next story. Ishaq Dar allegedly ran over people with a vehicle. These were horrifying scenes. We can't show the video, maybe some photos, but many people were critically injured. So far, there's been no media uproar. I suspect, and this is just a suspicion, that the driver might be British. According to the Washington Post, the driver was a 53-year-old British citizen, and perhaps that's the reason behind the silence. Had the driver been a Muslim, there would have already been terrorism and Islamophobia charges by now. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.